Hey, what's up everybody? It's Tom from tomsculptor.com. I just wanted to do a quick video on aquaponics. It's one of my other hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies, and I was getting ready to make up the orders from last week to send out Monday because I had to go to see my family down in southern Ohio, and I think I've told y'all my grandmother's in the nursing home, so anytime we get a chance to go see her, we take advantage of it, and I loaded the 3 kids up today and took them down to see their grandma. So I didn't get them out today, and I apologize for that. There's a few of you that have been waiting, but I'll make sure to add some silver into the orders and make it up to y'all. That said, this is my aquaponic garden setup. I got the red blue grow light, and there's my in the big one in the center of the stage. There's my cherry tomato plant. Then I've got my hot chili peppers right beside it there on the right. On the left are green bell. The back corner has purple bell peppers. And then I've got some orange, they're kind of like banana peppers, but they're called lunchbox sweet orange peppers. I've got cilantro, basil, and then, there's some material that has to be processed for orders. And that I have my arugula and lettuce starting in some rock moss or whatever they call that stuff. And that water that I hydrated the rock moss with actually came from the fish. So if I can get them on camera, I'll show you the fish. I try not to mess with them too much, except when I'm feeding them. I feed them a protein pellet. It's for carnivores. Well, there's 2 green sunfish right there, if you can make them out through the water, and then you can just catch the tail of the big guy. I don't want to harass them too much, but I'll see if I can't get them coaxed out here into the open. Oh, they're kind of a big one. Sorry. Yeah, I can't get them convinced to come out. But they hide under the bricks, or they hide wherever they can. But I don't want to stress them out, so I'm not going to bug them too much. But that's a green sunfish there. You can still see where I caught him. He's got a bruise on his lip, which I don't really like, but here's a normal bluegill, I think. Again, these guys have been in here for a little bit, and they're kind of used to me picking them up, but not, they're still fish, so they probably don't want to be out of the water any more than we want to be out of the air. But yeah, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to harass them too much. These, like I said, these are just normal bluegills. I'm still contemplating ordering some from this aquaponics store online that ships them. I was thinking about ordering maybe a few hybrid, but I'll have to get a bigger tank because they need 10 gallons of water for every 1 fish to get up to 1 pound. So bluegills are easier, they're smaller. I mean, those bluegills I literally caught at our pond, and we have green sunfish, shell crackers, and green sunfish shell crackers, which are readier, and regular bluegills. What else do we have? We have copper nose. Copper nose get pretty big, and they're pretty awesome, actually. There's a June bug in here. I want him to go into the fish tank. Perfect. Yeah, I kept the garage door open, and unfortunately that opened the door to some June bugs getting in here in July. So, but here's kind of how this works if you're not familiar. I'm kind of rambling, talking about the fish and all. So the fish tank, obviously you feed the fish make waste. That waste is then converted by the plants into nutrients that they need. There's a pump in there that pumps the water in through this. All this stuff I made. And then from here in the grow bed, the water is then siphoned out through this, which is called a bell siphon. Let's see if I can trigger it to go sooner. There, it's going. So it actually drains the tank via suction. It creates its own vacuum, pushes water down into kind of the solid settling filter here, It goes through here. The filters capture the remnants, but as you can see, the water drains all the way down to the bottom of that plastic bottle. So the roots get aeration. There's an aerator in there. That's what that air hose goes to. So I kind of mixed hydroponics and aquaponics together, because typically you don't put an aerator in. I did that for my own test, basically. I've done this before. I had a greenhouse at our old house, and I had perch and channel catfish. Unfortunately, I had a lot bigger system, but I had a big problem. The catfish I got had some kind of ick or something on them. I got them from a local hatchery. They weren't cheap either, and I drove a long way to get them. But I used a chemical called Pimafix, and only to find out that's actually toxic to people. It's organic, so being that this whole system is to be organic, I had to use something organic, and I had to do something quick because I was losing fish in a hurry. I ended up losing all the channel catfish, which I had, like I said, I had a lot more area to do it because I had a whole greenhouse and the whole thing was set up, and I had something that was probably 150 gallons, whereas that's only, right now it's 50, but I think if it's full it's 70, I don't remember. But anyway, long story short, I ended up losing everything but one perch. It was the sole survivor, and so I ripped everything out of the grow bed because it was all, essentially destroyed by this chemical I used that was toxic to people. And so I basically just quit, and this was 2 years ago, and I haven't done it since. I gave the greenhouse to my neighbor before we moved, and I gave her all the pumps and the filters and everything and told her how to do it. I don't know if she ever did, but she likes goldfish and koi, so she was going to probably just use all the pumps and filters for a koi pond, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, here I am again. I got this going a couple weeks ago, and have been waiting. I've been finicking with lights, or messing with lights for a while. As you see here, the plants they were in dire need of getting some different lighting, because I had white light before, and flowering plants such as tomatoes and peppers, which have fruit or bear vegetables such as these, unlike lettuce and stuff like that doesn't need, they still need the light, but they can go without it, which is why I want that arugula and lettuce to get going, so I can start putting a little bit in here and keep it going. So anyway, so this is aquaponics. This is another hobby of mine. Like I said, 5 bluegills will support pretty much this entire grow bed. The filtration is basically a natural occurring process where the plants will pull out the nitrites and nitrates. They basically clean the water for the fish, and the fish feed the plants. So it's kind of a cool thing. If you grow the fish to a size that you can eat them, which is pretty easy to do. I had those perch from 3 inches to 6 inches in 6 months, or 7. It was about 8 months, honestly. But I've done bluegills too this time. And if you get, like I said, those larger breeds of bluegills, they will grow pretty fast. Just research it before you get into it, because you can spend a lot of money. I had most of this stuff just sitting around. I've spent maybe, I don't even know. I got the plants after the season, so it was all marked down. But the rest of it was literally like stuff I had from, just sitting around. Like this was in my one video where I made my own little recirculating sluice or panning thing. I bought that bucket, the drop tank there, because I broke the other one I had, which was another one I used to use for panning, and then this is one I used to use for panning. So basically all this stuff is from Tom's Gold Dirt or panning. And so I built this rack there. That cost me like $10, but I bought the stand for $5 at a yard sale. Pretty easy to get into this hobby. The hydroton is very expensive, I will say, but you don't have to use that. You can use gravel. This is all oversized from when I processed material for Tom's Gold Dirt. That's the easiest way to get it right there. It's all oversized from sluicing. Or whenever I just go and get my buckets, I keep the oversize. If I don't process it at stream, I process it back here with my 1/4 inch, and anything over a 1/4 inch gets plopped out, goes into a bucket, and it just so happens it works out perfect to fill these cups to hold the plants upright, keep them in a way that the hydroton doesn't float them or tip them, and it makes it a perfect situation. So this video is already 10 minutes long, but I want to say thanks for watching. If you guys want to see, more videos on this or other videos similar to this, just let me know in the comments. Like I say, I have a lot of hobbies, and I don't mind sharing because it's something I enjoy. So you guys have a great night, and if you haven't already, go order a Nuggets Galore bucket, and you'll be pleasantly surprised with the amount of gold that you'll find, as well as the secret surprises. If you're paying close attention in my material, you have found sapphires and garnets, but in the $250 and the $500 bag, you will find something a lot more rare. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Be blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.